to those of us who are here. And I'm so happy to be back with you.
It feels
been a couple of
good.
weeks.
I feel like we're on that TV show. And we're like,
Hoda and Kathy.
oh, I got the papers ready.
Yeah. So we are on week 8. I can't believe it. Week 8 of this 12 weeks to wellness opulence program. And tonight we are going to be talking about the spirit, the Po, which, like I just said, is a lighter week. So that is exciting. It corresponds with the metal element, the large intestine, and the lungs. Yeah, I only like a little moon. You're way more metally than I am. Anna, you came to play with your metal.
Anna's got her metal on.
I was like, what's the biggest metal necklace I have?
Yes.
Appreciate you guys. So, you didn't have a meditation, did you?
Oh, I have a meditation.
We're going to kick this off with a meditation.
We are going to do a meditation.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
We love a Kristen Wister meditation.
Yes. So let's kick this call off with a guided meditation from Kristen and Wistar. And then we're going to dive into
I'm going to pin I'm going to pin us. So in case people come on, it doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. All right. Here I go.
Hello, everyone. All right. So let's see. Okay. All right. So let's close our eyes. And we're going to come into the metal element, the spirit of Po. And I wanted to bring you into a different type of breathing technique that emphasizes the pause in between the breaths. So as you inhale, just inhale your breath. And at the top of your breath, notice the pause and then exhale. And at the bottom of your breath, notice that slight pause. Inhale, pause, exhale, pause, inhale, pause, exhale, pause. And as you continue to notice this pause, notice the stillness within the pause. There's absolutely nothing that you're doing in that split second, in that moment. And there's such nothingness and stillness in that moment, bringing you into the present moment of nothingness and everything that comes from it. And bring your mind's eye now to your root chakra and your bottoms of your feet. And let's connect some roots into the earth, into Mother Earth. Let's get grounded and present with the earth energy. And we're going to go on an exploration of the metal that's within the earth. And just follow your roots down till you see where the metal is in the earth. You might see gold, copper, silver, platinum. And just allow your roots to go wherever it wants to go, which metal element it wants to connect with. And once you've found your metal element, just tie your roots around that piece of metal and sense and feel the density of that metal, the presence within that density deep in the earth. And notice the brilliance of the reflective quality, the beauty of that metal. And notice there's a loose piece of metal. And the metal element says, take this with you so you can learn about the spirit of Po, the psychospiritual dimension of the metal element. And so allow your roots to bring that metal piece all the way up to the top of the earth and bend over and pick it up. And just gaze into it and notice how reflective and beautiful it is. The spirit of Po welcomes you to this beautiful metal element and what it has to teach us today about beauty, about living in the beauty way, about finding ways to see beauty and to sense beauty, to surround yourself in beauty, connecting into your instincts, the ones that you know are good for you, connecting into the present moment. And so the spirit of Po tells you to look into this metal element with your mind's eye, look in and see what you see. And as you gaze into the reflective metal element, you see this beautiful field full of flowers, and all of a sudden, instantly, you're there. You can't believe you just arrived in this middle of this field with flowers galore everywhere. It looks like they go on for miles and miles, and they're flowing back and forth in the wind. There's every color, every size, so much beauty, so much visual beauty. You feel like you're on overload. And you smell so many different fragrances. It just smells so incredible. So you walk towards these flowers and you start walking in to this field of flowers. And there's a particular flower that's calling your name. You walk towards it and it says, "Pick me." So you gently pick this flower and you gaze at it. You look at the incredible sacred geometry of all the petals, this design, the color, so vibrant. And you raise it up towards your nose and you take a huge inhale and you smell its fragrance. It smells like a piece of heaven. Just breathe it in. And then you touch its petals. The petals are so soft and so tender. How can something so beautiful and so tender just have so much potency and strength and beauty? It's amazing. You feel like all your senses are on extra sensitive. They're extra sensitive. They're just exploding. And as you're looking at this flower, it transforms into a beautiful piece of fruit right in your hands, and you can't even believe it. You feel like you're a kid in a magic movie. And it's your favorite piece of fruit. And it smells so good. And the fruit says, "Take a bite." And so you bring that fruit up to your mouth and you take a bite, and it's just dripping with juices. It's so good. And you just hear yourself saying, yum, this is so delicious. It's like the perfect amount of sweet, just a little bit of tart. You're just delighting in every bite that you're taking. Your senses are on fire, and it just feels like this is probably what it feels like to be an animal that's super sensitive and can sense and smell, hear, taste, see in such a expanded way. You're feeling so good in all this beauty. And then there's a piece of you that starts to come up and thinking, do I deserve all this? Like, who am I to be enjoying all this when people are suffering in the world? And the spirit of Po hears you and speaks to you and says, "What's wrong, my child?" And you continue to tell the spirit of Po that, "I don't know if it's okay to feel this good. Because whenever I feel good, it seems like something bad happens. Or I know someone who's suffering and it just doesn't feel right for me to experience so much joy, pleasure. Who am I to experience this? And the spirit of Poe says, who are you not to? This is your birthright. You are meant to live the beauty way. You're meant to be free and see beauty everywhere. Do you think the sunrise and sunsets apologize for the beauty that they are? Can you not just enjoy those moments every day? Stop and smell the roses. Enjoy your life, enjoy the beauty, because as you do, it lifts the consciousness of this world. And if everyone did this, imagine how different this world would be. And the spirit of Poe asks you if you'd like to release some of these limiting beliefs, and you say yes. And so spirit of Poe invites you to sit on a rock off to the side of the field. And as you sit down, immediately a piece of paper and a pen comes before you. And so you start to write down all the things you're ready to release. Any of the unworthiness, the not good enough, the judgment, about just feeling this good and this in love with life, experiencing so much beauty. And so you release all of your limiting beliefs. And then a big gust of wind picks up the piece of paper and it falls down on a path below the rock. And you feel free and lighter. And then you hear a thunderous sound coming towards you, and you look off to the left and you see a huge herd of wild animals coming towards you, and you're not sure what they are. And then you see their horses. They're racing down this path below you. And they race over and trample that piece of paper. And they're gone as soon as they've come. And you just marvel, you're marveling at their beauty and their grace and their wildness. So you step off the rock, you go down to the path. And that paper has been disintegrated. It's no longer there. It's been transformed. You feel such a sense of lightness and awe by this experience. And the spirit of Poe says to you before you leave, I'd like you to commit to yourself something that you can do for the rest of the day, the night, tomorrow, the weekend, that brings you more joy and beauty. It can be as simple as bringing fresh cut flowers into your home, or wearing that really nice outfit that you keep waiting for this special occasion. Could be surrounding your home in more color, having a really nice meal with a friend. Just see beauty everywhere. See beauty in your life, in nature, in the faces of your family, your friends, your home. And see from the eyes of beauty. And so you feel full. You say, yes, I am committing something. For this next moment after this call, in the next few days, I'm going to commit to something that brings me more beauty into my life. So placing your hands on your heart, honoring yourself and your worthiness for the beauty that you are, and the beauty that you share in this world, and the worthiness and the love and the light that you are. Let's just seal this with one breath in. So take a nice big deep inhale. Hold it at the top. Open your mouth and just sigh it out. And then come back into the space.
Beautiful.
I love the spirit of Poe.
What was your favorite fruit? What fruit did you have?
Peach.
Oh, I had a mango.
Oh, yeah.
Mm. That was beautiful. Thank you, Kristen.
You guys put what fruit was your favorite?
Yeah. And what flower? What kind of flower
Yeah,
did you have?
flower. There was just so many. I just,
Variety.
yeah.
I had daffodil.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Let us know. Mango and sunflower. Love it. Love it.
Oh, look how many
I
mangoes.
love this.
Oh, well, now we have to look up the spiritual meaning of a mango. Okay. We have a lot to cover tonight, so we're going to dive in. That was beautiful. Thank you. So the Poe. Poe is all about animal instinct and intuition. So the Poe is the psychospiritual attribute of the metal element, which is the large intestine and the lungs, which we already covered. It's predominantly the lungs, though. And when we're talking about how consciousness unfolds itself through the matter and the bioenergetics of the human body. The spirit of metal is our animal instinct, our deep, knowing, intuitive nature. Our animal wit is embodiment, sensation, and appreciation, sinking into embodiment and the ability to live in the body and the appreciation of the five senses, but using our animal wit and our intuitive nature to live fully in the preciousness of the present moment and to create magic in our lives. It's known as the alchemist. How many people actually live in their bodies? Like no one anymore. Everyone is all in their minds. I was just having this conversation with someone today because I was focusing on, I've been focusing on trying to be in the present moment and being a student of awareness. And so I try to be aware of my thoughts, and my thoughts are always thinking of something to do, even something to do in response to something that hasn't happened yet. So I'm like, if this happens, I need to do this, this, and this, but that hasn't even happened yet. So this week we're going to focus on getting into our bodies, getting in touch with our animal wit. Oh, I just had a really fun question come up. If you were an animal, what kind of animal would you be? So everyone, if you were an animal, what kind of animal would you be? Just think about it. We'll come back to it. And we're going to get into embodiment and enjoying all of our senses. So again, the attributes of the Poe are animal wit, embodied knowing, ability to sense, and being aware in the depth of the moment. Love that. So Kristen, why don't you, if somebody is Poe deficient or stagnant in their lungs, what could potentially their symptoms be?
All right. So you could have issues with obsession, depression, the kind with deep sadness, anxiety to enter into the world, chronic tension, especially chronic pain, psychosomatic pain, the kind that can't be diagnosed because it's viewed as crystallized emotion. That's so fun. It's so interesting in the body. So it's stagnated energy in the body. So psychosomatic pain is the main symptom in this element. So that's interesting. So it's like a pain that you just can't figure out what it is. Yeah.
And working at the chiropractor's office, I mean, I just had a client today. Yeah, I see these kinds of clients all the time when they're just sick and tired of being in pain and they go to all these doctors and doctors can't figure it out. Could be this.
Could very well be.
Yeah.
Eating disorders, undiagnosed lumps and benign tumors, develop cysts along the lungs or the large intestine meridians, balance impairment if it's not diagnosed from the kidneys, stress-related skin issues. I've seen a lot of that. bowel issues and feeling prisoner to the way our life feels.
You know, it's really
Sounds pretty miserable.
interesting. Yeah, it does sound pretty awful. It's interesting, the eating disorders and also feeling prisoner to the way our life
Yes.
feels, because I know, I've had very extensive experience with people with eating disorders. And they really do not feel like they're in their body. And so if this spirit is all about being in the body, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
That somebody with an eating disorder who is not in their body at all, they very much feel like this body doesn't belong to them.
Yes.
And so it's like the only thing that they can do to control it, to this life of feeling like a prisoner, is to have an eating disorder.
And it's an obsession. And
it's an
we
obsession.
both have experienced this in our families with people very close to us. And it's,
Wow.
yeah, you know, it's like we're seeing all
Oh
these
my
parallels. I
gosh.
know. So it's,
I'm just gonna just quickly sidetrack. Like, if children are taught this at a young age, instead of just admitting them into a mental hospital with doctors who are supervising them and forcing them to eat certain kinds of food so they gain weight, what if we did a little breath work? What if we taught people how to get in touch with their senses? Teach people about the metal element, the large intestine, and the lungs. We're doing big things in this world. Everybody who is watching this recording, everyone who's on this call, we are doing very big things in this world, and you should not discount the work that you're doing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
This is amazing.
Anna, why don't we talk about if you become super Po, what does that look like?
Super Po. So
Super
Po superpower is living in the beauty of life while activating your intuition, to be and live in the flow, to connect to your superhumanness, which is really our intuition. And I love how you mentioned just being so much in your head and not so much in your body. And I think about how with animals, they're very much in their body. Their animal instincts are very much connected to all of the elements and their animal instincts. I think on Dr. Michelle Patrick's call, Taryn was talking about how in Bali, her dogs would know before there was an earthquake. And think about the information that we, as our superhuman power of really being in our body, if our energy is spent up here, we're not really tuning into our tuning fork, the information that's carried in our field that we can pick up on if we're truly in our bodies. The information that is constantly being filtered through our field. And I think that's where we get so disconnected from that information. And when we can actually be in our body in the present moment is what really when we'd be able to say, oh yeah, like something feels off. If it's connected to even sensing an earthquake before it even happens, or, thinking a name of somebody that literally calls you in 5 minutes and you had just thought of them. These tuning into that information that's all around us. Those are instincts that, when we're in our super Po power, we're really picking up on that stuff. Yeah. So,
Awesome.
I mean, do you have moments in time that you remember where you were like super tapped in to your body and your instincts that you just knew something right before it happened?
I can't think of anything at the moment.
I feel like I have definitely just in knowing to go a certain direction in my car, just driving, and then I go this way, just and just knowing that was the right way to go.
Yeah.
I'm sure that the more that we work with Healy and this device, certainly the more tapped in I have become over the past 2 years, for sure. Yeah. Like now I know, like if I have an idea, like I follow it. Yeah, if I don't follow it and it keeps going, like I know I have to. So I'm definitely tapped in way more.
Yeah, many levels. I mean, the more I think about it, as soon as I think of something like my dad, who's passed, if he just comes into my field, I know he's there. I don't even second guess anymore. You know, it's just it's like, okay, I recognize that this is my truth, and I'm not going to rationalize it out. So yeah.
So Anna, why don't you just continue into how to balance or release Poe?
So get back to our wild nature using our animal wit and settled Poe with the lungs. So bringing it into balance, appreciate anything beautiful, like Kristen guided us through this beautiful, just tapping into all the senses, what we hear, what we feel, what we smell, what we're tasting when you bite into that peach or, you know, whatever fruit, mango came up for you. That is us really allowing ourselves to kind of come back into balance. Anything that will bring you into the preciousness of the present moment.
Can I stop you right there? I wonder if this is why we love to shop so much. It's like bringing, you know, you always feel guilty for shopping, but like we're just letting our Poe go free.
Pogo. We're letting our
Pogo.
Well, if I can just say one thing on, and I don't know if I said it in the meditation or not, but I've always, because I see through the eyes of beauty, just because of I'm an interior designer and that's just one of my gifts. And I'm always seeing how to take a picture. You know, I can see the way to angle something and it's like, oh God, that's so beautiful. I can spend hours taking pictures, but beauty is a quality of spirit, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. And so when you are in a beautiful space or you see something beautiful, like a sunrise, sunset, or you're in a space and you're just like, wow, you become present. So beauty is a really high vibrational frequency. It's a really amazing thing to appreciate in our lives. Right?
And I can say from being in one certain environment and then coming into a Kristen M. Worcester space, which I call her the space sorceress, it is a different energy, my friends. It is. I love it here.
Thank you.
Okay. Continue on, Anna.
Well, just adding a little bit of beautiful music to that just enhances even more. Sometimes when I wake up, the first thing I do is put on like spa meditation music that just like sets the tone.
That's a good idea.
Like, it's going to be a good day, guys. It's going to be calm. I got like 2 toddlers running around like, ah! So it's good. It's just like, how do I like really create a beautiful environment, you know, even with all the chaos. But anything that brings peace to our 5 senses. So definitely spa meditation music in the morning. It's just like, oh, I love it. Sitting down with a beautifully prepared food or meal, or prepping it yourself, taking that time to really be present with working with the food. And just, I'm not all about presentation. My husband is. He loves like setting up the plate to look beautiful. In my head, I'm like, it's all going to the same place. Just throw it on there. But I bet you Kristen's like platters are probably like very well put together and just look beautiful. And so I feel like I need to integrate that into food some way.
Or just appreciate what he brings to the table more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally.
Absolutely.
Literally. Yeah.
This week's going to be so great.
Yeah. I'm so
It is. Beauty and intuition. You can't beat that.
Nope.
Wearing or surrounding yourself with colors that support your mood. So if you're still in that shopping mode, things that resonate with beauty for you, having beautiful fragrant flowers, because the metal element opens up into the nose. So anything that stimulates our senses of smell expands this level of consciousness for you. So I'm a big incense person. I just love incense. I'm a patchouli hippie through and through. But I also like jasmine, or I don't know, like myrrh and frankincense, or like, I love them. I don't know what your favorite fragrance is, but I definitely think that for sure just brings you into the present moment, because If it's potent, you're sensing it, and it just brings you into the body even more by smelling it. Taking walks in beautiful places or surrounding yourself and beautiful landscapes. What are some of your favorite places to go that are like beautiful to you, that you just like love to go? Feel like that's where you want to be. Spending time with animals, moving your body for pleasure, not for weight loss or to obtain a certain kind of physique. Hula hoop or dance. That was Dr. Michelle Patrick's thing. She like in between sessions, hula hoops, just to get her body moving.
Love it.
It's so good. That motion, it just brings you back into the body. Self-massage, specifically using almond oil, or I guess an oil that has like a scent to it, or adding a scent to any type of oil. Swimming in the ocean, sacred baths, like actually taking the time to set up an Epsom salt bath, or just, you know, something with like flowers and candles, and really setting the tone for a beautiful space and a sacred space that really brings you into the present moment. And breath work. Pranayama app is one of the apps that she had mentioned, and the Breath Guru app is another one for more emotional breath work, to kind of work through any type of emotions that are coming up.
Yeah, I'm really interested in trying the Breath Guru.
Yeah.
Okay. So now
I'm sorry.
is this the right?
No, it's in the wrong direction.
I didn't think so.
Here we go.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
So I had to split this up into 2 pages because Dr. Michelle Patrick just gave us so much incredible information and so many Healy programs to complement this spirit. So we're just going to go through them, and you know, it's good to remind everyone that 3 is the amount that they recommend, that the limit that they recommend you do per day, and to split them up too. And if you've never used a Healy before, you're watching this and you're brand new to Healy, the gold programs is one that's recommended to get started with. And so I try to put those at the very top of all these lists. So these Healy programs are to support the PO, the gold program, care, to care for yourself and being in the moment. And is when she wrote this, I was like, that's so interesting. While you're doing the care program, think about what you were owed, receiving all of the divine wisdom from the universe. So care comes up a lot for my clients. I have a lot of women clients who are constantly taking care of other people to their detriment, to the point where they are coming in because they're in pain, they can't sleep, they have gastrointestinal issues, and they can't figure it out. And when care comes up, I always ask them, you know, are you caring for yourself? Or are you the caregiver in your house? And I swear, I'm not making this up, 9 times out of 10, they start crying right there on the spot because they're so exhausted from giving all the time. So if that's you, let's focus on the care program. The being program speaks to the alchemy of this element, metal, and being in the preciousness of the moment and energy. Stimulate. And you know what I've noticed with energy, when people do energy, they manifest things pretty quickly. I've noticed that.
Wow,
yeah.
Interesting.
The stimulation programs, number 1, which is the chronic pain program. And while doing this, set the intention to release stagnant energy in the body while running this program. So remember, we talked about the somatic pain. So it's fascinating to think that pain in the body could be caused by stagnant energy, but it's just every body's different. And so bodies are going to speak to us however they're going to speak to us. It might show up in pain in your body. It might show up as skin issues in my body. So make that intention to release stagnant energy while running that program. The learning program, stress. stress takes us out of the preciousness of the moment. So run this program if you're not feeling very present. In the fitness program, regeneration. I love that program, by the way.
And the fitness program, people oftentimes think it has to do with just working out,
Right.
but it isn't. It's across the board. You can use it for so many different things.
Absolutely. In the job program is the activation program. I guess they're modules, job module, the activation program. And when you're deeply rooted in the lusciousness of the soma, you are active and activated for all the intuition that is owed to us. Basically, she's saying that when we are present, like we don't have to actually try. People, and I did this too. I had major self-imposter syndrome when I started to get into this work. Who am I to practice Reiki on anyone? Who am I to even take a Reiki course? I wasn't born with all these, gifts that I could see things, hear things, heal people. I had a really hard time even calling myself a healer for years. But what I know now is that each and every human being actually has the power to heal at least themselves, if not other people as well, if that is what they're called to do. But everybody has gifts. Everybody, when they tune in to their intuition, that they'll start to thank you. I'm getting a little distracted.
Yeah.
You'll start to see things or hear things or know things. Everyone's different, but I know for a fact that everybody has these gifts. So activation is a great program for that. And balanced nerves. Poe has everything to do with our nervous system and positive thoughts. That's such a great program to balance obsessive thinking.
I love those programs.
Yeah. You want to take it from there?
Yep. And then in mental balance, we have contentment. If you're feeling deep uncontentment in your body and in your life, to bring you back into the beautiful creation that you are, because you are in that state. Anything is possible no matter what's going on around you. So you can always bring yourself back into contentment. I haven't used that program as much, and I would like to use it more. And Dr. Michelle Patrick has said that she uses herself as a guinea pig, and she has literally tested with herself and her patients. And these literally work based on what she does with them. And she's just a living example of walking the talk. Like she really, really is like this vibrant in her body, totally understanding the energetics of her body, sensing everything around her. She's such a delight to watch and such an inspiration. And I'm so glad that we have this to really learn from her. It's really been mind-boggling. And to try these different programs, it's amazing. Feel good system. When you feel good, everyone feels good around you.
That kind of goes to what you're saying in your meditation. It's like, who am I to feel good when people are suffering?
Yes.
But when you raise your vibration, other people's vibration raises.
Yeah,
too.
so much so. And when you feel down and in the dumps, and then there's someone around you that's really happy, sometimes that can either really irritate you and you can, when you're really not feeling good about yourself, I'm speaking for myself. I know that I've been more judgmental and short-tempered and like, blah, blah, blah about everyone else. And, but when you're feeling really lifted and really high and really content, you see the world through rose-colored glasses. You see the world that way, and you see it in everyone else, and you lift the frequency for others. And when you're feeling that good, it doesn't matter if there's someone that's like, yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. You have compassion for them,
or you don't even hear them.
Or you don't hear them. I feel like it doesn't even, it doesn't resonate.
Yeah.
It's like it's down here and you're up here. And
What is it? Rising tides
raise all boats.
Raise all ships. Yeah.
Raise all ships.
Love it.
On the skin system. So skin is the largest organ of our body, and it goes through a lot, and what we put on it. And so skin is really linked into the metal element. It's really important to to pay attention to that. And sometimes when I scan myself and skin comes up, I'll kind of be like, what, is it something I'm putting on my body? I kind of try to think rationally, and I think I need to drop some of that still, just, okay, run skin program, see how I feel. Just like the time I was scanning myself in the beauty program and nails kept coming up, and I was just like, I don't care about my nails. I want to do aging or skin elasticity. And so I would always do the opposite of what it kept coming up as nails. And you guys have probably heard the story before, but some of you haven't. I finally decided to run the nails program, and I literally felt high. I can't even explain it. I don't know why, but whatever frequency was in there for me really made a huge difference. So the Healy, it's like your higher self is communicating with Healy. So we just have to let our analytical minds go sometimes and just play with it. And then we have meridians 1, lungs and skin, because they run together for an amazing expansive metal. I know that when people are having a lot of issues with their lungs, my mother has COPD and she has grief issues. She never smoked, but there's been a lot of grief. And therefore she ended up getting COPD, and her skin reflects that. You can see it. I actually had a Chinese medicine friend who I was talking about my mom with a lot of dark spots and bruising and whatnot. And she just immediately said it was a lung issue and grief. So it really does show up in the skin. You gotta look at our skin. We all want glowing, beautiful skin. And if it's not, then it can be tied into stagnant emotions and energy within the body that needs to just be expressed.
There was when I first started with Healy, there's a really great Facebook group. If you guys aren't on it, you should ask someone who invited you to this call to invite you to it. It's called the Frequency Experience, and it has just thousands of testimonies of people with their experiences with Healy. And I remember when I first started, I saw this before and after picture of 1 month with this woman, and I swear she looked at least 10, if not 20 years younger. And I was just like, I never reach out to random people or strangers on Facebook, but I was like, I'm a licensed esthetician. Like, what did you do? And she wasn't even just focusing on skin programs. She was actually focusing on all the other things. She did do a skin program like once a week, but it was all of the chi that was moving, all of the emotional baggage that she was releasing, that over a month, this woman looked like a completely different person. It was unbelievable.
I saw that.
If you go into that page, and you just Google or search skin, you'll see it pop up. I mean, I'm sure that there's a couple, but there's one in particular that I was like, do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. Totally.
Crazy.
Night and day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, continue.
And then just continuing deep cycle, breath of life, which totally lines up with just the joy of life, the lungs, just moving all that chi and happiness through the body. So Anna, do you want to
Sure.
do the other programs?
So in the Bioenergetic Harmony 1 module, you can run Intestine, Nerves, and Potency to open you back up. Run Being and then Potency for once you're in the preciousness of the moment, to feel your bioenergetic field expand you so you become aware of subtle energies in your field. This would be a good one just to like practice and see what happens this week if you're really interested in tapping into what it feels like to have subtle energies moving around in your field, and just tapping into that and what it means for you. You can also run hypersensitivity. Run if you're feeling like you're missing something, you're supposed to be receiving, or feel there's some stagnation with something you're trying to create. You can run Potency with that command that I would like to be in full receipt of any wisdom and magic I am meant to see, to birth this creation through my vessel without any stagnation of my own. And if you get a chance to like read that back on the worksheet, and sitting with that intention would be really, really powerful. You can also run Toxins for psychological and
Psychological and okay.
Physiological.
Oh,
Yeah.
physiological and psychological toxins. Sorry.
Okay.
I
I
see
love
that.
this idea with
Yeah.
hypersensitivity.
Yeah.
Like how many people like feel like they're so on the verge of a manifestation? Like it's right there.
Mhm.
And you're like, where is it? I'm seeing the
Mhm.
signs. I'm literally hearing like that it's right here, but it's not here.
Mhm.
That's a great program to run to kind of bust through that wall.
And then getting over the analytical mind that's
Mhm.
thinking, oh, it's just when I'm hypersensitive to something I'm eating or something that I'm,
Mhm.
you know,
Allergies,
that kind of
which it does work great
which it
for.
works great for, but it's just using it in a different way.
Mhm.
That's the one thing I love about Healy is even though some of these programs you can use on such a deep physical level, they're just affecting so many more things. Um, I mean, even tapping into our intuition and how much that's improved since using Healy, like it blows me away.
Mhm.
My life and my body and my circle of friends and pretty much everything about my life is completely different since
Mhm.
starting Healy
Mhm.
in a really, really good way.
Yep.
You're welcome to all of you.
So we can also run bioenergetic defense general. You can run the general program to clear your bioenergetic field. And I guess Dr. Michelle Patrick had recommended to run it a few times a week.
Mhm.
If you're feeling like that heaviness in your field or you just need to run it. And every once in a while I get that. And you know what's interesting is I'll get the bioenergetic defense in my scan for general
Mhm.
before my immune system starts breaking down. Like
Interesting.
any little thing that in my environment that starts impacting me on a mental emotional level, then the immune system starts to go, and Healy has picked it up every single time. So I am like constantly running the bioenergetic defense, the general bioenergetic defense.
Can I share something from that? I think that's so amazing because
Yeah.
I feel like certain people are drawn to certain programs and they experience different things. And right, I used it today when I went to the eye doctor, and sometimes it stresses me out to go there because I have to wait several hours and have all these tests run. And so I decided to run the bioenergetic defense today, and I felt so protected and my whole energy was lighter, and I was able to receive the love of the person that was working with me. She was just being really light and carefree, and everything shifted for me. And I almost wanted my sister to come with me because it's just a thing that I experience when I go to this particular eye doctor. And it's a sensitive thing that I experience. And when I ran this program, I felt so different. So I just love how you can have the way that it affects you in that way before you're getting sick. You can use it so many different ways. That's the thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just
And
amazing.
proactively, I love, if I see it in a scan, I know that something's affecting me. My external environment is starting to impact my internal environment. And that is when I'm like, okay, I missed something. I have not been fully present in my body. And that's when I run it. But I have run it proactively when I travel. And the feeling, I used to have like really bad travel anxiety. And even just running the general protection program, it's like a whole shift. If I sit next to somebody, because I can feel if their energy doesn't feel good, like as soon as I start running that, I don't feel it anymore. It's like not this heaviness or like weird, you can just kind of feel it. It shifts things. So I totally get that experience of like going into a stressful situation, and having that as a proactive measure. Because we do pick up that stuff and we start feeling it, and then it starts affecting us on a physical level. And it's great on a proactive measure for sure. Under the digital nutrition modules, you can run spirituality, regeneration, and energetic. And what I love about those digital nutrition modules is, if you've ever looked at the chart that shows all of the supplements, like the vitamins and supplements, that the frequencies that are in each program are pretty amazing. Under bioenergetic support, you can run the coherence program. And for the chakra module, you can run root chakra to bring us back into the roots of ourselves, just grounding back into our body, back onto the earth, back in our full sensory capacity, back in our soma. So great way to just, I love how in the meditation you brought us back into that grounded root energy of just being fully in our bodies.
It's always about grounding. That's for darn sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're going to talk about,
Do you want to do the affirmation stuff before we go into the daily homework?
yeah, I love the
Or just
affirmation.
all this stuff?
The old paradigm is that there's righteousness in suffering. How many times have we like seen somebody almost bragging that they were like in lack, or bragging about how exhausted they were from taking care of other people, or you know what I mean? It's a programming that it's righteous to suffer. It's righteous to not spend money on yourself. It's righteous to not, splurge on the food that you actually want because it's, more expensive. So that's the old paradigm. And this new affirmation is, it is my right to enjoy all of the beauty in life.
Amen.
You're really good at that.
I know.
And I'm working on it. This is going to be a great week. I'm very excited. And then the higher self exercise. Did you do the garden exercise last week? Like when you're meditating to practice?
I did it a little bit. Yeah.
I did too. It was really good to see my body as a garden. It was like, oh, worry, bloop, not going to be in here. This person, bloop, you don't fit here anymore. Love you, but bloop, don't fit here anymore. And so this week, the higher self exercise is to imagine yourself experiencing complete and unlimited abundance. Sorry for the typo. Enjoying luxurious things and spaces. And I just came up with the idea to go on a shopping spree in your higher self meditation for everything. The dream home, the clothes that you would buy if, you had unlimited budget and space to house your clothes, or even if it's just one thing. You've been wanting to buy yourself a gem necklace that costs $50,000 or something, something like that. Just go shopping for yourself in your higher self exercise and see what you come up with. And then the daily practice is to refer to the checklist that we have. And this was a fun fact that the panda in Kung Fu Panda was actually named after the spirit Po.
Oh, really?
Oh, there's my Healy.
Watch that movie.
Yeah, I've never watched that movie. Maybe a lot of times in these Disney movies, or maybe that's not Disney, but in these cartoon movies, there's actually a whole lot of adult like references
there always is
in there. So I'm gonna watch that movie and see if I find anything.
Yes, I'm curious. What are you guys gonna do to bring more beauty into your life tonight, tomorrow, this weekend? Please share.
What are you gonna do?
Well, I want to hear what they have to say.
Well, yeah.
Because
While
I do it all the time.
While they're
I'm definitely doing the fresh cut flowers. That is one thing that
I've been doing that. And
yes.
It makes such a difference.
I know, I love it. Love it.
It makes such a difference.
Yeah, it brings such a fresh, beautiful energy into a space, and just like it feels luxurious. It
Yeah.
feels like beautiful. And it really like, I can feel a shift in the energy of the space. And anytime I walk past it, it's just like a beautiful reminder. Like, wow, like I have
Couldn't,
nature in my home. It's very grounding. It just, yeah, it's,
couldn't agree more.
Mhm.
yeah.
That's a great thing. And shopping for them too, you know, we're kind of taught that like, you know, a significant other, whatever, is supposed to buy us flowers. And it's like, why can't we just go buy ourselves flowers?
And I do that all the time.
I know
every
you
week.
do.
Yep. I
I
love it.
love it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what else? Don't be shy.
Yeah.
Pepper.
Pepper.
I'm going to buy sunflowers. I just love the big sunflowers.
Good. I love that.
Awesome. I hope you guys take pictures and share it on the Facebook.
Yeah. Do
Please
that.
do.
Yeah, that would be fun. I love that.
Anne, are you going to do anything for yourself this week?
Yeah, I put it in the chat.
Oh,
Find
okay.
a garden to walk through
Oh,
and really take my time and just kind of take it in.
That's
I love
amazing.
that. Oh,
You
Mark.
know, I can picture a bench, or actually the other thing I think is a museum. Go to a museum and take the art in there.
mm,
Sounds
One of those.
so
are
nice.
fun.
So
Yeah.
much beauty there.
So Mark said going into a breath work session after this, and then we'll take my boy to the wild behind our house.
for an adventure. Oh,
Love
that's
it.
nice. I love that.
Oh,
Yeah.
men doing this work.
Yeah.
Nothing more
I know,
amazing.
I know.
And a man raising another man
Yes.
doing this work.
Mhm.
Yes, Mark.
Yes,
We
Mark.
love
Keep
you.
it going. Linnell said love flowers also. Let's see, Donna.
Donna, you deserve to
Yeah.
have some beauty in your
You
place.
do.
Well, I always keep fresh flowers. I mean, I've always done that. Of course, I haven't had it in the last 2 weeks, so that's maybe something that I need to go to. But you know, we got to go play golf this weekend out at a state park, which was really the first time we really had good weather. And then my husband felt like going. So I wouldn't mind doing that again, because we actually are having some pretty cool weather if it doesn't rain for the next week or so in the low 80s. So that's going to be really, really nice.
Mm,
Wonderful.
nice. Linnell, did you want to share anything else?
I've got a bit of a croaky, deep voice still. I'm sorry. Definitely bring flowers into my home, and I'm just really needing to heal more. I'm still a little bit unwell and under the weather, but in a really good space, feeling in a very nurtured and creative space. And actually, I've just been enjoying the beauty of my home and surrounds for the last week. It's been really healing and just appreciating what is here to enjoy. So I feel I am in the seat of luxury and beauty.
And you are, gosh, she has a place called the Lighthouse, and she's just surrounded in beauty. And she always post pictures and asks, what are we grateful for? And she'll send a picture of her beautiful scenery, and she shares, and she does live in luxury and beauty, and I love it. I think that's why we love it. Another reason why we connect so much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have to leave now because I'm venturing out of the house for the first time in over a week. But it's been wonderful touching base with you now, and look forward to next Friday and the week ahead.
Good.
Bye all.
Bye, Linnell.
Bye.
And Joan, don't want to leave anyone hanging. If you had
Yeah.
anything that you wanted to add, what you were going to do this week for yourself. If not, no worries.
Yeah. So tomorrow I'm going to enjoy the smoothie bowl that you're going to make for me. She makes these incredible smoothie bowls, and she puts almond butter in it and all this beautiful fruit that she lines up, and all these beautiful granola and crunchies and chia seeds
Coconut
and coconut flakes and bee pollen. And it's like, oh, I want to take a picture of it. It's my mouth's watering right now. So I'm going to enjoy.
We will take a picture.
Yeah,
and
we'll take a
post it.
picture and we got to make it extra. We'll make it extra pretty.
Oh, put some flowers in it.
Oh
maybe.
yeah. I have some edible flowers actually.
Of
Stay
course.
tuned.
There you go. We're gonna make it really beautiful.
Love that.
Oh, well, it's going to be a really good week. I think we earned it after last week.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. Next week we're going into the 9th week, if you can believe it.
Mm.
And we will be talking about the zhi,
Ja.
Z-H-I.
Okay.
So that should be fun too.
Fun.
Well, thank you everyone
Thanks,
for being here. Have a
everyone.
wonderful night.
Yeah.
Thank
Good
you,
to see
guys.
everyone.
Oh, Mark, it's so good to see
Yeah.
you.
Thanks for coming, Mark.
We will catch
and
up
everyone
soon.
else.
Genuinely, thank you so much. This has been amazing. You all three of you are incredible. This has been perfect medicine. Thank you. I'll be sharing some
Aw,
photos this week.
Please do.
Thanks, Mark.
Okay.
Bye,
Bye, everyone.
everyone.